The 130th Marine Brigade had orders to join them in the desert. It was the only failure of the whole operation. The Israelis shot down 14 loaded helicopters, and the survivors achieved little. The Egyptian generals had estimated they would lose 10,000 men in crossing the canal alone. In fact, the barrage kept most Israelis in their bunkers. And throughout this most dangerous Third Army poured more men into the Sinai. In imitation of Israeli tactics, heli-borne troops had been dropped behind the lines. Further south on the Bitter Lakes, an amphibious operation was underway. Tanks and troop carriers brigades, after the initial shock, are now fighting back. Designated teams began clearing the Israeli defences, where the Jerusalem doing training. It wrought havoc among the Israeli tanks. One unit alone claimed 8 tanks in the first 10 minutes. With the tank defence now in place and heavier equipment arriving, the second phase of the operation could begin. And the latest Soviet anti-tank missile, the Saga. Unfolded from a suitcase, it could be set up in minutes. Its wire guidance system and 3,000-yard range demanded courage and skill from the operators. Each had fired 100 rockets. Once the first wave had scaled the bank and established a foothold, tank hunting units moved inland to await the first Israeli armour, equipped with RPG-7 anti-tank weapons. And turning it into a wall of flame. The Egyptians took no chances. The night before, frogmen had blocked pipes leading down to the canal. 8,000 Egyptian infantry began crossing the canal in rubber dinghies at midpoint between the forts. In 1971, the Israelis had tested a method of pouring oil onto the canal from an underground system, West Bank and the canal in smoke. Screened from Israeli eyes for the cameras. Hundreds of machines read that months later, their Third Army reenacted the whole exercise. The Egyptians were so